Something about tattooing super hairy people, though, it makes me a bit disappointed if they're like thick brown hair and then they're putting something nice underneath it. Because you know they're not just going to...
I got wolf ladies on my chest.
Oh, you have super hairy chest?
Yeah.
Oh, you're a hairy chest motherfucker.
I trim it, but it's yeah.
Okay, well, those are gorgeous. Who did those?
Ben.
Oh, okay, yeah. Ben's great. Shout out Ben.
Are we filming?
Yes.
Oh.
Oops.
What is Ben's Instagram?
Benoit de Longchamp.
Yeah, Ben and Val are both amazing, realistic.
I have lots of work by both of them.
Ben and Val McBain.
Yeah.
I like that. I still have to finish from her, actually. You have lots of work done. Oh, that's who you apprentice under?
Well, kinda. He convinced me to start my apprenticeship and then left like a month later.
He left?
Yeah, him and Val. Yeah, him and Val both moved to Kingston, and now they're at Dark Tides in Kingston.
So who took over your apprenticeship? Yourself?
Yeah, pretty much.
You're like self-taught.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I get it.
I
Same.
took over Ben's station.
Yeah.
Oh yeah?
Yeah.
So you were.
I went to Motor City when Ben was leaving. I
Had already left or was in the transition of?
I don't recall.
I remember when I went to interview with Lorena, he was at that station. So when I was starting,
probably like in between.
Yeah. But when I came to actually work, I'm pretty sure I had this. I don't know. It was a blur.
Well, so on this topic, you guys have a work history together. What's poppin', everybody? It's Amanda.
I'm Curse.
And we have an awesome guest who has been in the industry a long time. We're super excited to have on. Justin Castaldo. Did I say that right?
Castaldo. That's okay.
Castaldo?
Yeah.
Fuck.
It's all good. You are not the first person to do it.
Castello? Castaldo?
Yeah.
And what's the background on that?
Italian.
Right. Okay.
My
I don't want
dad's
to like assume, but
Dad's Italian, mom's Scottish, so that's where the red comes from.
does he like speak Italian or is he just?
Oh yeah, he speaks Italian.
That's gangster.
Pellegrino.
Yeah, his name's Pellegrino.
Like the drink?
Yeah, like Pellegrino Castaldo is his name.
Oh, that's his first name.
Yeah.
Ah, that's hardcore.
Right?
Right? What is sexy for his name?
And then I get Justin.
That's very. What is the background? What is the background of that?
I couldn't tell you.
English,
English,
Scottish.
maybe.
Well, at least you got a cool Italian last name.
Yeah.
My bad. What is your Instagram handle, and what do you do?
My Instagram handle is No Soul.
I love that. I know. I love that.
Everyone's like, "How did you get that?" And I'm like, "I guess I was
It's
the
just
first
No
person."
Soul, that's
just
it?
No Soul. NOSOUL. I've had a few people message me, "How much for your Instagram name?" I'm like, $10,000. So like, "Oh, let's get real." I'm like, "That's my number."
Yeah, good. Fuck 'em. Because it's catchy.
Yeah, and there's no numbers, no nothing after it. Just
Can't believe you
No Soul.
caught that. That's it.
I get tagged though in so many things.
Cool.
In terms of like, it's mostly ginger kids. Swear to God.
Is that why you chose it?
No, but I'm constantly like, you know, you go on Instagram and it's like photos of you. You go. Sometimes I'll go on mine. There'll be like this weird ginger kid, or like it'd be like a picture where the eyes are overexposed, and I have to like remove me.
No way. Oh my God, that's amazing. You didn't choose it because
No.
you have no soul because you're ginger.
Yeah, my license plate is No Soul as well. Actually, No Soul
that's cool.
87.
Yeah, good. Tell people that so they know who you are.
Yeah,
when you
exactly.
come
Driving
out.
like an asshole, like that's that fucking ginger.
Exactly. I listened to it.
That's Costello. That's what they call your number.
I was gonna put my
Costello.
sticker on my card. I'm like, no, never mind. Not with the way I drive.
And have you found like a preferred? Because like the first handful of years, I'd say even like 5 or 6, 7 years, it's like you're kind of always experimenting and getting into new things. Have you found something that you're like, this is it?
I do like neotrad, but honestly,
wrong.
I'll try anything. Right
the
now,
best.
I'm still trying to figure it
Anything?
out. No, not realism.
No?
Well, I've done some things, but small scale, like
Yeah.
realistic bees.
Yeah.
I've done a lot of bees. That's my mistake.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, I post one, and then next thing you
Oh,
know,
yeah?
everybody wants a bee.
That's also I just want to put up here. That's sometimes why, not that we don't like the tattoos,
Yeah.
but that's sometimes what we won't
100%.
post is because I'm like, if I post this fucking lion, I'm gonna do lions for the. I do post a lot. I do actually like nature, but it's not like I want to do nature tattoos. But people are like, oh, you're like the nature person,
Yeah.
and I'm like, no, you are the nature people asking me to do them, and I post them because I like them. And they do transfer as tattoos, but I'm like.
That's like me when people want me to do like a pop of color and like their florals and stuff. I won't post it. I'll post it on my story, but that's it. Because if I have it on my page, then I run into now people who like are doing consults who want like color realism micro portraits. I'm like, not the same thing.
No.
But
No,
people
it's not-
don't get it
no.
that it's a different way of tattooing, right?
suppose that's the one you're gonna stick with. You think
think
Neotrad?
so.
It's a huge realm too. You can
Yeah,
do
it
so
is.
much
Yeah.
with it.
Very diverse.
Do you have like up for grab stuff available?
Yeah, I got a few things, but it's nothing spectacular.
He's
On
also
my Instagram.
He's also very
It's on
good
your
at
Instagram.
He's
Yeah,
very
Instagram,
good at accommodating people as well. I will say you have very good customer service.
That is
It's-
huge.
I think it goes back to working the front constantly, being the manager, trying to like calm people
Understanding.
down. Yeah.
You just seem to give that personality anyways. We're just like accommodating and just like good vibe to be around.
I
You know what I mean?
try to accommodate. Sometimes I'm just like, I wish you wouldn't do it this way, but I'll do it for you.
Yeah.
Could you do say that? How do you?
I don't
that's
say
the
that
hard
to them.
part.
Fuck
That's
that
the hard
shit.
part. How do you say it? No, like sometimes you really.
I just say I wouldn't recommend it personally,
yeah.
but it's on your body. If that's what you want to do, that's your choice. Is my line.
fair.
Yeah.
That's
Yes.
usually what I say. I'm like, hey, like I think it looks good this way, but the tattoo's on you.
I try to explain why.
That
I try
too.
to
Yeah,
be
yeah,
like
yeah.
the reason why I don't like this, and that way they can understand it. And I'll use certain type of more attractive words to show them what I don't like, and
Yeah.
more less attractive words to be like, this is why I don't think it's a good idea, placement wise, subject matter wise, or cramming too many ideas in one wise. You're like suffocating the composition in a way, and it's really important. Whatever. Then I feel like that's like you can get people on board that way. Otherwise, if you don't, and you're like, I don't think it's a good idea, they're like, well.
It's my tattoo.
Yeah. I might do a day where I just have a bunch of cringy things that clients say and then just have tattoo artists react.
Oh man, that'd be good. Because then
I hate to be that person, but
I like it, but it's like, no, you don't like it then.
I don't want to be that person, but
Oh, I know I should have like sent an email about this, but can we change this,
man.
this, and this?
actually I was thinking that I would actually I don't know the person, but like I don't think that I want that anymore.
Have you ever got, well, I'm paying you.
No.
Yeah. Well, I'm paying you. Well, that's nice. I'm not a prostitute. Just because you're paying me to do something doesn't mean
Do
I'm going to
whatever
do
I
it.
want.
Yeah.
That's bold.
Yeah.
That's
I'm
ghetto.
paying you. Okay, that's nice. Doesn't mean I want to do it.
Was it a smaller tattoo?
It was actually wasn't me that it happened to. It was someone else when I was the manager.
Was it a smaller tattoo?
I can't remember what they wanted exactly. It was so long ago. But then like, well, but I'm paying you. I'm like,
I feel like that's like a
Like,
small
whoa.
tattoo thing. I feel like the whole
Yeah.
process of tattooing and doing smaller little repeatable tattoos are
Pinterest tattoos.
Pinterest tattoos. Pinterest, yeah, like feminine Pinterest tattoos or like
I do
that
a
kind
shit
of
ton of
client.
those.
Oh, whereas I find when people are paying more money, they're doing a big piece, they have a bunch of pieces already. They're much more like a better client almost. You know what I mean? When it's
Yeah.
their first tattoo, they're like, I want this, and they want this. Like, they just it's more difficult to work with someone.
Oh, yeah.
To be like, you want to do something better, right? And like, no, I want this. And you're like, oh, fuck. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's a bummer when they just want exactly what they see. I've had that.
Or
I'm sure
or when
that-
someone books a full day with you and they wanted a small tattoo and a big one, and then they come in, actually, you know what I was thinking? Can we just do like this small one that's only going to take an hour, even though you have the rest of your day booked out for me today because I have to be out of here in an hour?
In an hour. Yeah.
Yeah.
And they don't tell you that until they're there.
Yeah. Or you're in the middle of tattooing. How much longer do you think this is going to take? Because I have to be out of here by
My ride's gonna be here in 10 minutes. Dude, we have another hour on your tattoo.
Yeah. Is it cool if they come and sit here? I guess. Or not at our shop. Though. We're like, no guests or whatever.
Yeah,
It's just a lot of
same with our
people.
shop now. No guest because
There's
a
no
lot.
space
Yeah, it is a lot.
with the amount of people even
Yeah,
there
it's
too.
a
It's the
lot.
same kind of situation as this open concept. There's no space for people. It's too crowded.
Yeah. No, it's a lot. And it's boring, man. Have you ever
And-
sat with somebody while they got a fucking tattoo? It's so
Not
lame.
even that, but no offense, your friend's not paying me to entertain them.
No, yeah, but you don't have to entertain them.
no,
can
you
just
don't.
Be like,
No, that's why I just put my AirPods in now.
Also, weird shit happens sometimes when they have their friend there.
Their friend also has way more opinions than the person getting tattooed.
absolutely.
Yeah,
It's like-
that's true.
Yeah, the person's like, oh, I love it. And their friend's like, well, what about that? Or you should change that.
God damn it, Jessica!
Yeah.
Like,
Well, this is not your tattoo.
so, anyways, you guys were just talking about how you could both work together. So you've been at Motor City for
Probably around I'd say 13 years. But there's within the past 15 years, I left a couple times, moved away, and then came back. So
Oh, did you?
yeah, I moved to Scarborough, and I quit.
Oh.
And then from there, I moved to Halifax for a year, and then I moved back here.
What was going on there? More tattoo stuff? More
No.
piercing?
No, I work for a cell phone company.
Oh, random.
Yeah.
Well, okay, so you haven't been tattooing for 13 years. You're working in Motor City from tattooing. You were he was managing it and was piercing.
Correct.
Which is crazy because you're a triple threat, really, in the industry, right? You've managed, you've pierced, and now you tattoo.
Yeah.
And who has done that?
Not me.
Look at us.
Nope.
I pierced
Not me.
for a bit. Wasn't for me.
You did?
Oh yeah.
At-
Really?
No.
Oh, I was gonna say. I'm like, you did?
Yeah,
I
did.
wasn't there
No,
for that.
not at Motor City. At where I apprenticed.
At where I apprenticed.
Yeah. Not gonna name it.
I think I know what you're
Basically,
talking
yeah. She would be like, "Yeah, do it once, then you know how to do it." And I'm like, "Sick."
Once?
Oh yeah. She'd
No.
watch me do it once, and then I would do. I only pierced nipples and ears.
Wow.
Yours are easy though.
Well, exactly.
Ears are?
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah,
I was gonna
except I'm
assume-
pretty sure I've pierced a lot of things crooked, and I'm sorry.
For those of you out there,
I'm sorry.
that's okay. So have I.
You have?
Oh, 100,
Yeah, how long were you piercing?
100%. Probably like 10 years.
And who taught you?
A girl named Ashley.
Okay. And was she piercing for a long time first before?
I don't think so now.
Okay, right. So is it much more complex? Because like, it kind of seems relatively simple. Is it?
It is and it isn't. It depends
Okay.
on the piercing. Right?
Okay.
And like I know a
You
lot.
did everything?
Not.
You
not
do
everything.
dicks?
No, I didn't
That's
do
what I
any
really
dicks. I did my
wanna
own.
You did your own dick.
But I did my. It was
You've
my-
never done any, but you were like, you know what?
I did my frenum, not the Prince Albert.
What's a friendum?
Frenum. So right on the underside of your penis,
Where it attaches
right
to the balls?
right below the head, like the skin
Oh,
under
okay.
that. It's just a barbell.
Otherwise,
that-
Prince Albert is right on the
right
Through the tip.
right through the urethra.
the clitoris
underneath.
of the penis,
Exactly.
if you will.
Yeah. although you don't.
It seems like that Prince Albert would be one of the worst experiences.
Yeah. No, thank you. You gotta shove a what is that? Receiving tube down there. No, thank you.
And somebody that we know has a 0 gauge one, and isn't, you know who I'm talking about?
She just whispers
Oh,
it.
hey, I knew that.
Yeah, he sent me a photo of it once.
I'm not surprised.
Yeah.
I'm not surprised.
When I apprenticed there.
He would.
Anyways, isn't it true that they don't close up if you pierce it or stretch it?
You
Ever?
have to pee sitting down, otherwise
Yeah.
that shit goes everywhere.
Yeah.
What?
If you have depending on the gauge of your
Or if you stretch it.
yeah.
You stretch your
If
Prince
it's-
Albert.
Yeah, if it's big enough, like if you pee, that shit's going like this way, that way.
Oh.
Because you have like literally a CBR going right through the hole of where your pee hole is out the bottom.
Yeah.
Well, this
This is all new to you. We get it.
is- also, like, I don't have a lot of piercings myself. And so
I
the
thought you were going to go
piercing
somewhere
world-
else with that.
I don't have a lot of experience with pierced wieners either. But like the whole like piercing is within the industry, obviously, and it has been for like since body mods and everything has been kind of hand in hand for a really long time. But it's still something that's very different, and it's like there's not people that are into tattoos aren't necessarily like into piercings, and it's very private. Like what people are getting, like the people are getting belly button and genital, and I don't know. People can get like corset back piercings.
They don't really last that long. It's like a bunch of surface piercings on your back. It's just for show.
Dermal?
I think
That what it's
dermals
called?
work. Dermals work, but
That's not dermal then? You're not doing surface.
no. Well, it depends. It depends because like a lot of people put the CBRs in and then like loop the ribbon, so you get that whole corset look.
That's so hardcore. So have you done a lot of weird piercings?
Not really. No, not really.
No? Just regular
Just
schmegular,
just the classics.
nose, lip, ear,
Yeah,
nipple,
yeah.
and one dick.
One dick. My dick.
No vaginas?
no vagina.
No, yeah,
That's
you
a
have.
lie.
Yeah.
I've done a few Christinas, which is just it's almost like a surface piercing right above where that
bean.
little slit is.
Oh, so under the bean or above the bean?
Above the bean.
He was
Hood,
gonna,
on the
he was
hood.
gonna do Michelle's badge, but she backed out.
Yeah, poor girl. Apparently it's a good time. I've heard that apparently it's nice. So she's missing out. I don't know if it does anything for men, but either way.
I don't think so. I wouldn't, to be honest, I don't even know if I've been with someone who had one, so.
So you were managing and then you got into piercing.
Correct.
And
Yeah.
how did you get into
Actually,
managing?
so sorry. I was piercing. I started off as a piercer.
There?
At Motor City, yeah. They taught me. And then my role just kind of went from there and like, hey, do this. And I ended up like running the shop pretty much. I did like payroll. I did everything.
So you would get paid a payroll for managing, and then you did
Yeah,
Piercing.
piercings as well.
as well.
Yeah.
What got you into piercing?
Honestly, I was bored. Technically, I got laid off, and I was getting tattooed there at the time. And randomly, I was like, hey, because I've got time on my hand. If I come here, will you guys teach me to pierce? And like, oh, we're looking for a piercer. And I was like, oh, you can
I'm
teach
your
me.
guy.
Yeah, you can teach me. And then, yeah, I went from there.
And then you made a whole career, and then you transitioned into
Yeah.
tattooing.
Yeah. I went to school for accounting.
Oh,
actually,
what?
I did 7 years of post-secondary school.
So you're a nerd.
No, not really.
Gotcha, bitch.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Potentially.
That's interesting. Well, I guess like Travis and Brandon what? Yeah, sneaky little nerd coming in here. Well, I guess it's interesting. Even Travis and Brandon, they both have like techie backgrounds.
Yeah.
But I think it's funny. I don't know
Travis
why.
does?
Yeah, he's like engineering, I think, of some sort.
He tries not to tell me enough about his life.
Brandy did computer programming.
Computer programming, and maybe I don't know, but either way, they have kind of nerdier backgrounds. And then you did that, did nothing to do with the accounting?
No. Well,
Not one thing?
I graduated Durham College twice in small business entrepreneurship, which helps being a tattoo
Okay,
artist.
that's fair.
And
Does it
then-
help?
Yeah,
Are
kinda.
you
I do my own
pulling something?
bookkeeping, so it helps with that.
Bookkeeping. You fucking nerd. That's amazing. You have a skill that no other tattoo artist have.
You know who else is an accountant who bookkeeps?
Yeah.
Debbie. My
My
mom.
girl.
Well, your parents are accountants.
No, my
Both?
mom's an accountant.
oh,
My
okay,
mom's
my
an accountant
bad.
for the
She
government.
can do my taxes anytime.
She's not legally allowed.
All right. That's a shame.
I may or may
It's a
not do
shame.
some shady stuff, so I definitely don't want to do my taxes.
Well, I feel
And
like
now we
that's
have that documented.
perfect. I can clip that out maybe. Well, either way, I was actually gonna ask too because you were managing a tattoo shop, and I haven't talked to other than the ones I've worked for. What that was like, as we were even just talking about with organization, what their background is. Usually, tattoo artists have this theme of being artsy, and artsy kind of goes hand in hand with unorganized. Sometimes they have bad potty mouths or whatever. Like we all do because we get used to being able to say whatever we want, but or disorganized or whatever. They don't take it as seriously sometimes. It's kind of
A nightmare.
loose around the edges. It's a nightmare.
Yeah.
Okay, I was
Oh,
gonna
yeah.
say, is it a nightmare for
absolutely.
managing
Yeah.
artists, people, artsy
Yeah,
people?
because I got to deal with everybody's clients, and like
Yeah.
if say an artist didn't show up because they're sick, I got to call the client, and then they get mad at me
Yeah.
because
It's your fault.
It's my fault. Yeah.
And it is.
Yeah, exactly. Right? Yeah. And then I gotta try like, well, listen, like I'm just the messenger. Like
Yeah.
I'm not the artist. Like, I
Yeah.
don't understand why you're yelling at me. Oh, I'm sorry. Blah 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 blah. I'm like, okay, but you're still yelling.
Yeah, that would be annoying. That'd be frustrating. And did they do that often?
All the time.
Okay, yeah. So that was
I'm the one who they got mad at. So
yeah. So other than that, other than the calling in sick and whatever, was that the most difficult part?
no, not really.
Attitudes, egos.
Attitudes,
yeah.
egos. There is a lot of egos.
The egos, that was a big one.
Would be condescending to you, or just mean like being around it is a bummer.
Actually, there's been a few artists that are kind of dicks throughout the past to me.
No doubt.
And like
To you,
oh yeah, for
as
no
a manager
reason,
or as a
yeah.
piercer?
Manager. Well, I don't know.
Both.
Maybe both.
As an
Maybe
entity,
both.
you're
Is-
not
yeah.
a tattooer, so
Exactly.
you don't get it.
Exactly. That's probably what it was then. Yeah.
That's so unattractive. There's a lot of that in tattooing.
Oh, absolutely.
A lot. And I don't know where it comes from. You do art.
Yeah, it's a rock star mentality that a lot of people have.
A lot of artists may or may not have that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Where you think you're so cool because everybody wants to get tattooed by you. Everybody wants to be your friend because you tattoo because they want a discount. So it gets to your head and you think that you're like the shit. Or I find when artists first start, you see improvement faster. So then you start to think, oh my God, I'm getting so good. And then you have your friends or people that you know in your ear being like, oh yeah, you're so good, all this. And then you start to think, wow, I'm the shit.
Compliments. I get
Yeah.
that, right? You do get complimented more.
When you first start too, yeah.
Right. And also you get, like, when you start tattooing, like, how, like, you started tattooing a few years ago?
Yeah,
Couple
but
years ago?
literally just before like the
And left?
lockdowns happened,
Oh, right,
which
okay.
kind of sucked in a way, but because
Yeah,
like
did it?
Yeah, well, like I started practicing, and next thing you know, lockdowns can't work, can't do anything,
Stop
Yeah.
and then
progression.
Yeah, that would suck. What was that question?
Dealing with artists.
No. There was something else that was real juicy.
ooh,
Well, or dealing with apprentices.
yeah, like her.
Oh, yeah,
Yeah,
that's how
yeah,
you guys
yeah.
know each other. Yeah, Kirst worked at Motor City, started her real more so.
Was it your first apprenticeship? Was there?
Yeah. That one. That's not the one I'm referring to for the piercing. Just to be clear.
Yeah, but you guys how long were you guys working together?
When I apprenticed, I think I lasted like a month.
I think it was a little longer than
A little
month.
longer than a month.
Oh yeah? Any fun stories about Kirst when
absolutely.
she started? Your face.
I say about every day she cried to me.
You cried every day?
Almost every day.
Why, the egos? Or just the stress of it? It's hard.
Some artists can be dicks.
Yeah. And I think there's just when you're not ready for like a more traditional apprenticeship and you're not taking it as seriously and you're still like partying and shit and going in hungover, and then you have to like do everything and they're trying to build this backbone into you. You don't take it so well.
Yeah, that seems overwhelming. But you cried a lot?
Yes. Yes.
The last day I made him get my stuff from my locker and bring it to my car, and I was just sitting there like, ah!
Yeah, I told her.
Oh, when you left?
Well, yeah, I can tell you how she left.
Yeah.
She was crying. She was super upset. I was like, okay, Kirsten, just, go to your car. Take 5-10 minutes, relax, calm down, come back. We'll be good.
Yeah, take a breather.
Yeah, she didn't come back.
You never came back?
She got in her car and drove off.
And then never came back?
Well,
what do you mean?
You know what? She came back when she got a job there. After apprenticeship at another shop was over.
After years?
After 2 years?
You're lying.
2 years? Or no, after 3 years.
Apprenticeship choice is your
I worked there for 2 years after that. People change.
No, yeah. I get that, but I'm just confused with your whole story of how this. So, and then she came back, and then you were working
together again.
Yeah.
But this time you were ready.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We had a different crew as well, so they weren't as mean.
Different people.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I would say.
Why is that, man? That's such a bummer.
I think it's that old school mentality.
Oh.
Yeah.
The way they had their apprenticeship.
You want to do it to them?
Exactly.
You want to be able to do that to them or something?
It's like, well, I did this in my apprenticeship. You should have to go through this too.
Meaning what? Go through what?
Verbal abuse.
Yeah. Not saying that happened to me, but
Verbal abuse?
Well, like there was some people that were shitty. But I mean, yeah, it's like if I was upset and crying, they'd ask me to go get their food for them from the store beside.
Hey, just to
in
clarify,
the middle
I
of
wasn't
having
a
a panic
dick.
attack.
I wasn't the dick.
No, but I should have
he
taken it
doesn't.
more seriously too, So.
But you were apprentice briefly under Ben before he left.
Yes.
And then you kind of had to wing it.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
It's more or less I would ask, like, I practice, and I'm like, hey, how do you do this? And I go and they're like, oh, try this. And I go and I try it.
So it was like a group apprenticeship.
I used to, like, ask multiple people. Every so often I'd call Ben or Val too. I'd be like, yo.
Yep.
Tell me what to do. I'm going to do this. I need some help. Talk me through
That's
something.
very convenient to have, like, very good tattoo artists to be able to call.
Yeah.
Because you were saying earlier, you were like, oh, right in the beginning, you progress so quickly because, like, you obviously have a lot to learn. And I'm thinking, like, no, because I didn't have, like, good artists to call on.
Yeah.
But I
to
didn't
learn
either. It was one of those things, if it's trial and error, where it's simple, like, oh, look, I can pull a straight line. Like, I'm not talking, like, serious
That's true.
shit.
Well, there are some people that, like, progress extraordinarily quickly, and you're like, fuck me. You know what I mean? Like Laura, for example. We're talking about how, like, she did, like, portraits, her first ones. What was your first ones?
Technically, my first tattoo wasn't when I was a tattoo artist.
Oh.
Yeah, I was bored one day at the shop, and I was talking to Cam. I was like, yo, Cam, I want to tattoo myself. He's like, all right, use my stuff. I was like, okay, cool. I tattooed a stick man on my leg.
On your own leg?
On my own leg, yeah.
Was it good?
How
did you find
it's a stick man holding a weed whacker, and it says keep on whacking around it.
Keep on whacking.
Yeah, and it's right up here.
Oh, yeah, you got one of those. I love how you put keep on whacking, too.
I thought it was funny.
But what was your first real one?
It was a death moth on my leg. I did myself.
Oh, yeah, okay, yeah. I tattooed myself as well. You tattooed.
My first one wasn't on me. No. My mentor said I wasn't allowed to tattoo myself. Because, she said it's unnecessary.
Oh, yours wasn't on yourself?
I did another stick man before I did the tattoo on myself.
On who?
On Kyle Tate. He's the manager at Motor City.
But this was not as an apprentice? You just did one?
Yeah, you know what? I wasn't an apprentice at the time either.
Are you drinking?
No.
Oh.
We were completely sober.
Oh.
Yeah.
What the fuck
He
was
just
he
felt
thinking?
like, and Kyle's not a tattooer, right?
No,
No,
he's a
he's just
piercer, and now
Oh, he's a
piercer slash shop manager now.
Right.
He
so
took
that
over
kinda
my
goes
job.
hand in hand.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm seeing a trend.
Yeah. Yeah. I remember when I apprenticed at Motor City for that month and a bit, him and Justin, like Kyle and Justin, both pierced, and I asked them to do my third lobes. You remember this?
No, sorry.
Okay.
Maybe it's not
so
that
I asked them
memorable.
to do my third lobes, and they did it at the same time, right? And so both of them were like, okay, on the count of 3, right?
Oh, yeah, I do
And
remember
then they're
this.
like, hey, 1, 2, 3, and on 2 he went, and on 3 Kyle went.
No, we-
at the
we-
same time.
we
So
were
one
gonna-
of them went on 2, the other went on 3, and then they both looked at each other like, did you go on 2? He's like, yeah. And I was like, sick, I went on 3. I'm like, fuck you guys. It was like back to back.
Yeah, we were supposed to do it at the same time, and then we decided not to last minute.
Just to fuck with Curse?
Yes.
Absolutely.
Were you an apprentice?
Yes. It was all in good fun. Like I
was
got
all in
along
good
with them very well.
Your pain is really enjoyable to a lot of people.
Whatever.
Watching Curse struggle. You cried every day? On that note, because you've done the whole triple threat thing, what paid more? Or is that like
Yeah, that's
something-
fine. Honestly, I found when I was managing and piercing, it was pretty comparable to just tattooing.
Okay. But there's much more to manage as you're
Exactly. There's more work, and I just, after a while, I'm just like, I'm done. I don't want to deal with everybody's
out?
clients. I want to deal with my own, and worry about myself.
less
Not-
people a day to deal with.
Exactly. It was less stressful for sure.
Like piercings, what I think would suck about having to do that, this is why I like to do one tattoo a day, one big one, obviously for other reasons too, other than I just like tattooing one fucking person all day. It is so, I used to do like a bunch of tattoos when I worked at Mike's, a bunch a day. Like sometimes I do like 7 people in a day, and it'd be or conventions too, you can do that. Draining, socially draining. You have to be an extrovert and have the social battery for it. Piercings, fucking in and out, in and out, in and out, especially if you like piercing days or something. And then-
Babies.
what?
Oh yeah, we pierce
Oh.
babies' lobes. Those are a little
Babies.
difficult.
Anyways, but you pierce babies' little
Yeah.
lips. Yeah.
That's harder, especially because like the youngest we do is 4 months, and they're tiny, and we have to get the parents to hold the babies.
Yeah.
And sometimes parents are scared to hold their kid.
What?
So, because like
You restrain-
essentially the mom or dad would be sitting there, the baby would be on their lap. The parent has to hold their arms down with the one arm, and then their head, so they don't move around with
Right.
the other, so I don't poke anybody.
Yep.
But sometimes parents would be scared to hold their kid, and they'd be like moving around.
Right,
You're like,
because
yeah,
it would be intimidating to lock them in one place.
yeah,
Right?
yeah,
Yeah,
It
I
doesn't
can get
hurt
that.
the baby, but
No, obviously. Yeah.
but
But they
their
cry.
parents don't want to do that. And I find actually with babies, they cry more because you're holding them still, not because of the pain of the piercing.
Yeah, because it's overstimulating to them. They're like,
Yeah.
"What is happening?"
Yeah, like let go of me. As soon as you do the piercing, you let the mom or dad let them go, and the babies are fine.
Oh yeah.
Majority of the time.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, they're just like,
You-
oh, okay, hey,
It's like
how's
a
it
little
going?
shot, right? It's mainly the fear
Yeah.
of it when they get like an injection or whatever. An injection.
Shot.
Like a vaccine, like a flu shot, whatever parents are doing shots for their kids or whatever, or vaccines and shit like that. I'm not sure if some of them are necessary or like if every kid has to get them. I'm not really sure, but yeah, you see those little videos where they get all dancey, but they're literally just like, but if they're distracted and they got a good parent that's like doing all the shit, they're fine.
Yeah. Some parents
not
bring
that
like
painful.
a video on their phone to distract their kid, depending on how old they are, and it tends to work.
Yeah. So when you did both, sorry, were you gonna say something?
Never mind. I was gonna ask him if he has any good fainting stories. Get to that after.
A lot.
Do that
I'm
after.
sure piercing.
Yeah, because
a
piercing,
lot.
I've seen
Oh,
some
yeah.
good ones too.
The fainting ones that freak me out the most, I consider them like the exorcism fainting, because their eyes will roll back and they're just like,
Pardon?
and you're like, oh my God, are you okay? But yeah, it freaked me out the first time where someone did that.
With the piercing.
Well, yeah, mostly piercings, yeah. I've had a few people pass out with fainting, but not
more
too many.
common.
Yeah, more common for piercing.
Yeah, it's intense and fast, right?
Well, I remember I was at Motor City like before I came here, and I was sitting in the staff room with Nolan, and when Nolan was still there, and we're sitting there, and all of a sudden you hear this huge bang, like it sounded like somebody like I don't know, like on the other side of the wall just went so we're like, what the hell is going on? We go out. There's a girl who got her nose pierced and then went to the front to go pay with her mom. She's probably like 15, and then she's like starts swaying. So Kate asked her if she's okay, and then like she's like, oh, I just feel like lightheaded or whatever. So her mom's like, okay, go sit down. And as she went to sit down, she tabled halfway and kept walking head first into the
No.
wall.
No.
Across
She
the
didn't break
whole
the wall?
foyer. No. And then she came to on the ground. I was like, what happened?
On the ground.
A lot of people, when they pass out, they wake up, they're
Confused?
like, what happened? I'm like,
Yeah.
you just passed out.
How many people? You've had a lot, I'm sure.
Oh, tons.
tons.
We've had in the past someone go through the drywall.
I was going to say, did you not, when you...
No, that girl didn't. No.
We've
But the
had
whole
someone
wall
go through
shook.
drywall before.
Piercing?
Piercing, yeah. In the past, like I wasn't working at Motor City at the time, but they had like a glass tabletop on like a table essentially, right? And someone passed out, smashed the glass.
Smash the glass.
Yeah.
Oh, that'd be so embarrassing. I've had people puke. Fainting is really common. People
yeah.
getting flushed is really pretty common. More common than fainting.
Especially if you haven't passed out before. Then you don't
Be
know what it is.
overwhelming.
You think you're fine and that you just feel sick for a second or like you need to go to the bathroom. You get up and you're...
I still think you'd be like, people get overwhelmed or like they kind of have a little mini panic because they don't know what's going on.
Yeah.
Or I've had people not faint but puke.
Yeah.
I'm sure you've had some
Oh, yeah.
pukers
Yeah, yeah,
too. It's pretty common. Either in the beginning or like right when it happens, like for piercings, out of nerves and they're like, oh my God, or near the end when they haven't eaten all day and then they puke. Puke up the Gatorade.
Bile.
that they
Yeah,
have.
right, yeah.
But since you've had so many and we all have an experience, what do you do when somebody is fainting or when they do faint? What's your go-to things that you typically do?
So essentially, we'll grab like an ice pack and something
You have
sugary.
ice packs.
Yeah, something
We should
sugary to
have
give
ice
them,
packs.
so that way they bring their blood sugar up. That helps.
Yeah.
A lot of times.
It's interesting how much the coolness,
Yeah. Well, because they
It's really
sweat.
big.
The first thing I notice when people have sweat, they start.
the glisten,
Yeah, and then they get pale.
the shiny and white.
Yeah.
Oh my God. Do you remember when you pierced my client's nose? And she...
Oh, is that the one that I didn't even realize passed out?
Yeah. Yeah. And in the
didn't
middle of me
realize-
tattooing her, she just went to get her nose pierced quick. And then
What?
what
Yeah,
happened?
I pierced her nose, and all of a sudden she's just like, "You okay?" She didn't say anything. And
Days.
she's like, "Did you just pass out?" She's like, "Yeah, I think so." Didn't even notice.
Yeah.
She laying down?
She
Sitting up.
like this.
Yeah.
Just like
Can you pass?
She just basically went like head and
just
then
like this,
up.
like. And then I was
So
like, "Are you
graceful.
okay?" And then she's like, "I'm like, oh."
Yeah, and
I
then
think
came
you
back,
just- yeah.
came back and got the tattoo finished.
Yeah.
Right after across the room.
And then finish her tattoo.
Yeah.
What a G. I always find it gangster when people like continue getting a tattoo after.
Honestly, I think if they pass out once, they kind of got that out of their system. They can
Yeah.
continue going, no problem.
Yeah.
I don't think I've
know.
ever had someone pass out twice.
I've had one guy. He had a group of friends with him too, and I was at Mike's and I had my own little booth or whatever, and his friends were all in there. Maybe it was hot, I don't know, but I had a tattoo bed set up and a chair because he kept having to go lay down and have a chocolate or like a little snack because he kept getting flushed. And but it was his first tattoo, but he was determined to finish it. He finished it.
That's good.
But
Good
he
for
had,
him.
you know, on and off the table. The first time I ever had somebody pass out, I was doing an uniform and he was on like a straddle chair where he's like leaning forward, and then he kind of just says some gibberish. Again, you get a little dazed, and they get a little glisten. But I was looking down. I was not. This is my first time ever, so I was at 13 in Lindsay, and yeah, he just says some gibberish, and I was like, what? And then I already looked up, and he was already. And he, again, hit the ground, and I had a coil machine and a foot pedal at the time. And he just lands on and I set my machine down, and he just lands on my foot pedal. I was like, ah! And then I'm like, oh my God, what do I do? And then I kind of turned him over because he was on my thing. And then he just got up and was like, and I was like, it was just a terrifying experience. But I was like, and they come out of that sometimes like that.
So
Like,
quick, yeah.
and you're like, oh, fuck.
Yeah.
Do you remember the first time I ever saw
Yeah,
someone
when you like
pass
call
out?
the police.
Call
or
the ambulance?
Call the
You called
ambulance.
an ambulance?
Yeah, she saw call the ambulance. Oh my God.
But not for me.
I remember I was in the back cleaning the tools with Kyle, right? And somebody was getting tattooed. It was a really nice guy. He was walking back to the bathroom, right? And the bathroom, the way the hallway worked is at the old location. You walk like straight to the back, the wall ends, bathroom's right to the right-hand side, right?
Yep.
And he walked straight into the wall like an NPC
saw him?
and just kept walking.
Like he was glitching?
Yeah. Like a GTA or something. And then falls to the ground, and I thought he died.
Oh, so it's just you.
So I was like, you gotta do something. He's like, okay, go. Like, and I was not listening at that point. I was like, I felt like I was gonna throw up. Ran to the front to him. I was like, call an ambulance.
And you're like, okay.
He's like, no, it's fine. He grabs a Coke for the guy.
Calling him, I'll just grab a Coke.
Yeah.
It should be a Coke commercial.
And I'm like shaking, man.
You were shaking?
Oh my God.
It is intimidating the first time. Like,
I thought
it happens.
seeing somebody like, and you kept walking into the wall.
That's good though. You'd be surprised how many like parents freak out when their kid passes out.
Yeah.
Like, oh my God, call 911. We're like, no, it's
Call
fine.
911.
They followed me.
It's normal.
Dead.
It's
Yeah.
okay. What do you mean? Wake up, wake up. You're like, they're fine. They'll come to. Just give them a second.
I guess it makes sense. Like, there are some people that are like surprised when you say like, oh, it happens all the time. And people just don't see it.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, they've never seen especially their own kid pass out,
Yeah.
right? Oh
They
my God,
panic.
what's the matter?
It would be terrifying.
But I feel like it happens a lot more with piercings and tattoos.
Oh, yeah.
But I find what gets people, and tell me if I'm right, is not the piercing itself, it's the transfer. Or no?
I don't know.
No?
It's hard. Well, it's hard to tell, right? I mean, because like
Yes,
I'll pierce the
it's
person and
fast.
then follow through with the jewelry right after. So, and then when I'm done, I
Whole
look at
experience.
them. You know, if they're flush, I'm like, "Are you okay?"
Yeah, it's fair. Yeah, because for me, at least, that's what I feel like gets me if I get a piercing. Like, I'm fine with the initial pain,
Yeah.
but then it's when
Putting the
they
jewelry in?
put the jewelry
Yeah.
in that it feels like a second round. Not as bad, but
Yeah.
and then I'm like, whoop, lightheaded.
Have you passed out?
Yes and no. I don't know. It's complicated. Like,
It's complicated. You don't
When I
want
was
to admit to
getting-
it?
I wasn't quite.
when I
old.
was getting my third tattoo ever. Yes. Yeah, third. I was in like one of those massage chairs, and the guy was doing this like hummingbird tattoo on my back, on my shoulder, and that thing's Anyways, we're lasering that. You're gonna cover it. Thank you. And so I remember he told me to hold my breath because my breathing was messing up his line work. Yeah.
something-
So then I started to get nauseous. So then I was like, okay, I need to go to the bathroom. I got up. I made it to the bathroom somehow. But as soon as I got in that bathroom, my eyes kind of like went white. Like I couldn't see and my hearing went. And I just remember sitting on the ground sweating. So like I was like just
gonna-
about to be
you're on the
out,
cusp.
Yeah.
but didn't go out. And I think I sweat the rest of that stencil off because there's supposed to be a straight line behind that
Yeah.
bird. And when I was stretched out, it's straight. Then as soon as I relax my arms, it goes.
Oh, no.
Yeah, and yeah, so then that, and then there's been a couple times like getting my lips done where she has to lay me upside down a little.
Upside down.
Well,
your
like the
injection?
chair,
Oh, okay, I
tilts.
get it. Yeah,
The
yeah,
chair
I see it,
tilts. Yeah, the shit
Back?
hurts. I mean, what are you talking about? My lips are real
They look real
big.
big. DSLs.
Yes, I'm sure Deb
Have you
wants
ever
to hear
passed
that.
out? Oh, damn.
No,
You've never passed out?
no.
Yeah, I mean.
I don't even know what it feels like. I'm kind of curious.
It's not fun.
Just kidding. I guess getting knocked out and fainting are probably very
Yeah,
different.
getting punched in the face, knocked out might hurt a little more.
I've been knocked out that way before. Or like you kind of black out. You know what I mean? But I haven't passed out and got lightheaded. Maybe,
Yeah.
although one time I got tattooed for like 9.5 hours or something when Travis did my outer arm, and he said I looked pale, but I felt fine.
You're always pale.
I think that just comes with the gingerness.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
You look pale.
Sit beside
Fuck
me.
off.
Yeah.
You look a little pale. Do I? I remember what?
Oh, burn.
I do burn.
I feel it.
Jeff feel. I think one of the more intense times I had somebody pass out was I have like a couple like they're just like really boring. But I remember this one I felt like I was in a predicament. And some of them they do put you in a predicament. Like you're like, oh no. I was doing something on his arm. He's younger. He had a sweater on. And he starts to do a little gibberish. He's like, oh, I'm really hot. And I have to take it. And I'm like, oh, I'm in a booth. I'm in my own room. And there's a curtain, which is open. But it's like, it's very blocked off. And he stands up and he tries to take his sweater off like this. And he's super tall. Like he's probably like 6'3", super skinny, super lean. And he's like, which is good, worked out because he's like going like this and he was sitting in a chair cutting it. And he's sweater over his face and he starts to sway and was stuck like that. Down, and I'm like, so I just kind of kick something under him. I think a garbage can, like a closed one or something, like something underneath him or like whatever, a little stand. And so he kind of starts to lean on that. And then I'm like holding your whole body gets clammy. So he's super like just
Wet.
moist.
Oh, yeah.
Wet.
And I'm
I
like
know that.
holding him while he's like just kind of hunched over with his sweater on his arm. And I'm just kind of waiting. And I want to like yell and make a big deal or anything. And I know like, he'll come to in a sec, which is really embarrassing to be in that state. But I remember just waiting for somebody to walk by being like, help. Because I'm like holding this like teenage wet sued kid. Ugh.
I've had to do that too, but a piercing. I pierced a guy's nipple.
Oh.
Yeah, and he went to go look in the mirror. Next thing he just started swaying back and forth, and I was like,
Sway.
"Fuck, he's gonna go." I ran, and goes back. I fucking caught him just in
He
time.
ran?
I ran to
Oh, you
catch
ran.
him because like I saw him swaying. I'm like, "Oh no," because he's at the mirror like across the room. I'm like, "I gotta catch this kid." Fucking run across the room. I catch him, but he's all slippery. I'm just like,
Slippery.
Yeah.
They're all immediately.
Yeah.
Like, when you're gonna pass it, you just
Yeah.
get wet.
Yeah, he's-
What is the primitive instinct to do that? Like, I don't feel well. Wet. Slippery. Can't get me now.
Yeah, exactly.
Whoever's gonna try to murder me. Like, what is that? Do you know? You're an anatomy guy.
Isn't it just your adrenaline spiking?
I have no idea.
Because I'm
But
pretty
then
sure.
what causes that? You just why does your adrenaline spiking
Well, my
cause you to
mentor-
sweat?
Yeah.
My mentor used to say it's like your body going into shock, but she said a lot of shit that I
Again.
don't know.
Whatever, if that's the case, but like,
Why is your whole body
Yeah.
soaking wet?
Because I think everything just shuts down for a second.
maybe.
maybe
'Cause
I
you're
have no
completely
idea.
out.
I would
don't
love to know.
I don't.
Okay, fucking smarty pants.
There you
God,
go.
Jay.
That makes sense. Glad we have you here.
See, I said though,
brain.
so I was like anatomy guy over here. He has to know.
Big brain.
Slippery little snake. He was like a little snake, but that was probably one of my weird ones. I probably have a bunch. But a lot of when people puke, I feel bad for them. I had a girl puke at the front of the shop before. She's already done a tattoo. She was a little lightheaded. Goes and she's like, I need to sit down. Sits at the front, and then just blah, in front of a bunch of people. I'm like,
yeah, that's embarrassing.
not like in the garbage can.
I remember. Sorry. When I apprenticed at that other shop, my mentor was doing this tattoo for this kid who's newly 18, and her minimum was normally $80. And was like, it was on Pinterest. It's one of those ones where it's like a line, the tent, and a tree. You know what I'm talking about? Just this big. She's like, whatever, I'll do it for $60, whatever, right? He comes with his two friends, and she does 2 lines. Guy passes out. His friends start recording him, laughing at him and everything, right? And then he comes to, right? And then she hadn't started tattooing him again yet. And there was a big mirror. And then his friend, after they were like chirping him this whole time, looks in the mirror and kind of bends. And he's like, why is everything black? So then me and another girl that are there
He's
just
in a
look
whole
in the
nother
mirror. We're
room.
like, what?
His
And
eyes
then
are
all of a
closed.
sudden he goes whoof, straight back and passes out. Then the guy in the chair who originally passed out, he's like, yo, give me the phone. Starts recording him laughing at him.
God, friends are the best.
Oh, God.
That's nice that they supported him like that.
He got his revenge.
That's it. Yeah, that's fair. No.
Karma.
Yeah. Speaking of tattoos and piercings at the same time, I have a would you rather. Just a cheeky one.
Okay.
I figured because you would know. Although you haven't actually, you've pierced your own dick, but would you rather have to tattoo only dicks or pierce only dicks? I remember you were asking would you rather
That's a
earlier.
good
That
question.
was it would you rather that you would have had?
Oh,
about-
sorry. Wait, would you rather suck one dick 100 times
Okay.
or 100 different dicks?
So you have to answer both.
Okay.
Well, I can answer that too.
Yeah, you will. Yeah, you
I'll
will.
have to.
All right. So we'll do either pierce a dick or tattoo a dick.
Yeah, only. can
You know what?
only
I
do
think
it.
I'd rather pierce a dick.
How come?
You'd be holding it a lot less.
Holding it for less time?
Exactly.
What if you had to just do like a
Less
little-
mouth on it.
Yeah.
Oh, wait, no, we're not talking about that one.
wait, mouth. Why am I putting my mouth on a dick I'm tattooing?
Sorry.
Or piercing.
My head was on the other question.
Sorry, let me at least clean that for you.
As if I was like, would you rather pierce a dick or suck one? It's been a long day. It's been a long day.
Oh, my God.
On that note,
I thought that.
one dick or 100? 100, yeah.
So I watched a video one time, and the guy like breaks it down, and you know what? His logic is legit.
What's the logic?
He's like, if you suck one dick 100 times, that's commitment. That means
That's
like
gayer?
that's gay.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, because you're committed to the
You're
one
committed
dick.
to that one dick.
You know what, though? But then you also have to face 100 different types of dicks.
That's true.
And that is just as terrifying as one guy.
Especially if someone has ED. You're going to be there forever.
You're at risk for more STIs.
That's also true. You know what?
I would just go for the one dick.
I-
And then you know what to expect this
That's
second
true.
time.
Hopefully. Depends on if they get around or not.
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair. I'm assuming they didn't. That's why they signed up for this.
Exactly. Yeah. Right.
Also, if you had to, because okay, I would. So that's my answer for that.
Well,
I
I'm
would
pretty sure
just do
mine's gonna
one
be an
dick on
obvious
one dick.
answer.
No,
All
but
right.
for pussies, would you ever have to eat a pussy one pussy 100 times or 100 different pussies? Are you committing to that woman, or are you?
Yeah, I could find a friend.
Okay, find a friend.
to do that.
Yeah.
100
Won't that be
times?
awkward
'cause,
after?
I feel
It's
like
so
there's
easy
a,
for chicks to answer it.
There's a stigma around, like, I don't know,
What?
you get drunk and it's like, oh, shit happens.
Stigma in what sense?
Yeah.
That it's a bad thing, or that it's that
No, I
people do
mean,
that?
maybe stigma's the wrong word. I mean, like, it's like where drunk girls will, like, kiss each other and shit, and
Yeah.
it's not gay. You know what I mean? People don't look at that and be like,
Is it
that's
gay?
gay.
That's a good question.
I'm
Well,
not
for
saying it's
men,
not, but
it's
I'm
more of a
saying people
thing.
don't
To be
look
fair,
at it.
I've kissed my friends on lips before.
yeah,
It
yeah,
is what it is.
yeah. That's like not that weird.
No, but I would
But-
say you see like straight girls kissing straight girls more than you
Like
would see
making out, like
Yeah.
are you making
no,
out with?
absolutely
yeah.
not.
Chicks do that. And
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm just like that.
That's
when
what I mean.
drunk.
Where I feel like that's an easier question for you to answer because it's like, I don't know.
Yeah, it's easier for women to just confidently kind of have that to say that. Would you rather? But you didn't pierce any. Oh no, you did pierce a
My
vagina.
own, technically.
No vagina.
Oh, vagina. Yeah, like I said, the Christina, which is not.
Once.
It's above. I should have done 3.
Yeah, but it's exposed.
Yeah, it's above the vagina.
But there's a lot of
area.
exposure.
It is.
It's-
I'm still in the area.
Yeah, I can't. I haven't done that before, like tattooed a vagina. But I think it would be intimate.
You
I
would,
did.
absolutely.
I tattooed one.
We're down there,
How'd it go?
or just the top.
I
You tattooed a
I
vagina?
wish I could say her Instagram handle because it would literally describe exactly the kind of person who walked in.
That's okay.
What did you tattoo on there?
There was a lot of space.
Oh,
What do you
wait,
mean?
hold on a minute.
Top.
Hold on a minute.
big
here.
pussy
It was the top, the Mons pubes, if you will.
Okay.
Why was it? What do you mean? There's a lot of
She
space.
had a lot of area to cover.
A lot of pussy.
Yeah,
Girl had a lot of pussy.
and
It was a fat
and it was full color. I was less
wow.
than a year into tattooing. Good at decision.
Are you kidding?
No, I thought I was the shit. And it was this is how much room there was, okay? 2 flowers, a full butterfly, and filigree.
Oh wow.
That's how much
You
space
did a
there
back
was.
piece on her vagina. That's a
I
lot
think
for a forearm.
This thing was probably like that big.
Okay.
Yeah.
How did it go?
Never seen it
How
again.
low did you go?
I know that she had commented on a couple things that I did, though, saying like, "Oh my god, you did my fave tat" and all this. So I guess she loves it. I probably
good.
turned out like
what
shit.
style? Just like the
Line
regular-
work with color, not knowing what you're doing style.
Oh my god.
Color packing with a neo tap from China.
You know what? would go
Running
on
it
there? What do you use?
unnecessarily high because nothing would go in because I didn't know what I was doing.
That's fair. We've all been there. I used to use coil machines that were too hot that I never. What do you use?
Right now I have a Dan Cuban, like for lining.
I got him on that.
She did. I'm not gonna lie.
And it's good.
I like it. Sometimes it for certain things it hits too hard, so I just
Zion.
So I have a Zion, but actually just recently, I got tattooed by James a while ago, and I asked him which machine he had. I think he has the Ambition.
From Amazon.
Yes,
Derek has it and he loves it.
I bought one.
And?
I love it.
Fuck.
Maybe I'll buy one.
Honestly, I paid $300.
Yep.
It came with 2 batteries, adjustable stroke, and yeah.
Adjustable stroke.
Yeah.
What's the stroke that you use?
It depends on what I'm doing.
Fair. For what do you do for like lining?
Lining, I like to keep it at like a 4.
Yep.
Nice long stroke.
Yep.
And then if I want like a black and gray, usually I bring it down to like 2.5 ish. Yeah.
I was thinking about getting a machine, like a different machine in general with a 2.5 stroke because I do a lot of black and gray realism.
Oh, I have one you can have. I don't use it.
What?
It's an EXO.
So I'll try it.
Yeah,
With a 2.5 stroke? Is it adjustable or is it just 2.5?
No, it's not adjustable.
Okay, cool. I'll
It's
try it
a
anyway.
it's because that hits softer, right?
Yep.
Yeah, just try it. Yeah, I don't use it. I have a battery with it and everything. It literally sits on my station and doesn't do anything. I used it once, but I find with micros, when I'm doing them, I still need something that hits a bit harder than what that is. Because otherwise it takes too long.
The Dan Cuban is a loud one, right?
Yeah.
Or like semi-loud.
Yeah,
No,
it's
it's loud.
not as, I don't find it's as loud as like coils.
Yeah.
But it's loud.
We should do a tattoo ASMR with Dan Cuban. Why
There you
is your
go.
face like that, dude? You're the one.
Wait, what?
Well, I feel like you showed me that video. You obviously don't care for that one video that you showed me of that person doing it.
Yeah, no.
Let's just make better ones.
Yeah, fair. I have 3 Cubans, so
3 different ones?
Do you have a V3R?
I have 2
is a
V3Rs and 1
satisfying
V7.
Yeah, okay. I've got a V3R and a V7.
Yeah. What one do you like better?
V7.
Really?
No, V3R.
Yeah, I like the one that's more adjustable better.
The V3R.
Yeah.
Yeah, the one you use all the time because it's
Yes.
adjustable. Right.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Now that you've been into tattooing, into managing, into piercing, and been in it for so long, what is something that's noticeably changed?
Honestly,
you've been in
tattooing
the
has become
industry.
more of a fad.
A fad. Okay.
Yeah, like more. Not that it's a bad thing.
Yeah.
Like more people are getting tattoos now, so like the industry again now because of that, the industry's blowing up. Where like every corner has a new tattoo shop.
It's weird, yeah.
Yeah, it's over.
Not
In my
even
opinion,
good ones.
it's a little oversaturated.
It is oversensitive.
It's like
Yeah.
lash text now.
Yeah, that's true. Is that the main thing then? You just mainly it's just become very populated, oversaturated.
And like the way people are taught, I find, and like the
Less ghetto?
Yeah,
Yeah. More legit
yeah, exactly.
or safer? You know what I'm
Safer,
finding?
absolutely.
Yeah.
Also, techniques have changed too throughout the
true.
years. Like
A lot of different things, I guess,
yeah.
have changed.
When I started, good realism artist was very hard to come by.
That's true.
Not saying that there's there's a lot of them now.
There is a lot.
There is.
A lot of good tattooers in
Exactly.
general.
Absolutely.
But
But
I
just
thought-
the quality of tattoos as well has
Yeah,
increased.
which is interesting. It must be like some of the inks and like I guess the more everybody's into it, the more like techniques get
machines.
Exactly. Yeah,
Different machines, different
yeah,
Things that hit
yeah.
softer.
needles. You don't have to make your own needles anymore.
Cartridges are helpful. Yeah.
Yeah, super convenient.
When I started, I had to scrub metal tubes. And
You
I was
did?
a piercing apprentice. And I had
Did
to
you
scrub
make
metal
needles?
tubes. No, I wasn't that far back. But yeah, I had to scrub metal tubes all the time. And I was
I had to too.
Yeah.
Scrub metal tubes.
yeah, and there's a little bit of ink in it. Clean them all again. Not just the one. Clean them all again.
All of them, because they were like, I don't trust you.
Exactly. If this one has ink in it, why maybe that one has ink in it.
That did suck. I'm so glad disposable came out.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, 100%.
The one thing I've noticed is I've only been tattooing for 9 years, but the one thing I've even noticed is that there's like less of that biker mentality type
yeah.
tattoo shoppy
Absolutely,
vibe.
yeah.
That ghetto, that traditional like.
It's owned by a gang.
And there's like the people who are tattooing now. There's like it used to be a lot of that kind of hardcore dude,
Yeah.
fucking biker mentality kind of thing, and now you're seeing a lot more like nerdy, artsy, autistic-y
Yeah,
kind of. You know what I
absolutely.
mean? It's for special interests, like really soft or like really feminine. There's a wide range now, but there's a lot of that. You know what I mean?
Oh,
Which
100%
is cool.
agree with that.
It's cheeky and cute, which is more inviting.
Absolutely. Yeah. I find now shops are more exactly inviting.
Yeah.
Whereas back in the day, it'd be very intimidating to walk into a shop.
It's almost good because it's changing the industry. It's forcing to change the industry in a
It is,
positive
yeah.
way. To be like now you have to try harder because there's more competition.
I feel
Oh,
like
yeah.
social media is a part of that,
Yeah,
too.
that's it too. Yeah. Most, now, yeah.
Yeah. You don't walk into a shop and you don't find those books
Oh,
anymore.
yeah, the
to flip
portfolios
through.
or the whatchamacallit, the flash books.
Yeah.
Old school flash. sitting at the front.
Those would still bang.
They
Some
would,
shops
though,
still
yeah.
have it, but you have to be those tattooers that do that kind of style, right? It's like if you're booked up and stuff too, what's the point?
Well, if you want to do your own stuff, if you want to do
That's
cool
true,
little
yeah.
stuff,
Yeah, fair.
or you could do little like flash days or whatever. But like,
But
I
I
think,
find people like that who are gonna walk in and flip through a book and pick something, want it done that day.
oh yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
I guess that's what the internet's for. You can
Yeah.
just post
Yeah,
it up.
exactly.
Now
Post
that-
it up
that-
and book it in.
Up for grabs, little highlights you can do.
That's true.
Yeah, right?
I guess
works.
that is the new tattoo books.
Yeah,
you know
it
what I
is,
mean?
yeah.
Is
Everything's
your
digital.
QR codes and highlights are the photo albums and the fucking flash
Portfolios
books.
of people.
Portfolios, yeah. Cool. Thank you for coming on. Maybe we'll get together and make a tattoo ASMR.
I'll be down for that.
Okay, sweet. We'll see what happens. That'd be awesome. I'm excited. And thank you for coming on.
Thank you for inviting me.
So lucky.
Appreciate it.
Yeah, of
Thank
course.
you so
Thanks for
I'm gonna
coming,
have you on again.
Justin.
Yeah, yeah. Why are you gonna be like that? Thanks. Thanks. Thank you.
Didn't cry today.
It is funny. Every other story, you're like, anyways, I sobbed. That's Chris. Every other fucking. Anyways, I cried a lot.
I am an emotional little bitch. It's fine.